Well, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us on this very special day. We are so happy to be here to celebrate this bill signing that will establish the Connecticut-India Trade Commission. This is very exciting because this trade commission, in addition to our existing international trade commissions, including the newly established German Trade Commission, tell the world that Connecticut is open to new and innovative partnerships. It's also very meaningful for Connecticut because we have such a strong and vibrant Indian community in our state that is so involved in every aspect of our business life, our professional life, our public policy making, and so much more. It's estimated that there are more than 65,000 Indian Americans in our beautiful state, and many of our legislators who are joining us today are proud to represent communities that have strong Indian American populations, and we are so proud to join with them to celebrate. Also, according to Advanced CT, international companies employ over 115,000 Connecticut residents, and those folks are employed at more than 800 companies across the state. So by seeking out new commercial relationships with Indian businesses, we can grow jobs and increase economic activity in our state. Connecticut exported over $18 billion worth of goods last year alone, so that is testament to our ability to add to our significant economic landscape. So we're very excited to be here. There were so many people who played a significant role, and you're going to hear about all of those folks. But I also want to say that in reaching an agreement with India, the world's fastest growing economy, to start this joint commission, we open up our state to so many more economic, cultural, and development opportunities. And this is really going to help our economy and our state. So I'm very heartened that this commission is going to feature members from a very diverse array of economic and professional backgrounds, and look forward to seeing the great work that this commission can do. So the governor and I thank you, and we especially thank the fabulous Senator Sujata Gadkar-Wilcox, who is doing wonderful work in our state Senate, and it is my pleasure to introduce Senator Sujata Gadkar-Wilcox, who will take it from here. Let's have a big round of applause for Sujata.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for being here. What an exciting moment and exciting day. And I want to just begin by thanking Governor Lamont and our Lieutenant Governor, Susan Bysowitz, for their continued support of the South Asian community. This is, of course, this bill signing and this commission is coming at the heels of already being the second state in the country to pass, recognize Diwali as an official holiday. So thank you to already Governor, Lieutenant Governor for all the support. And the governor asked me which state beat us out, and it was Pennsylvania, I believe. So we're the second state to do it, but I think California came after us, so only 3 states, so that's still something. We are, I believe, the only state to have these legislative trade commissions at the state level, which is so important right now because as federal trade policies are in flux, that really gives us an opportunity at the state level. I just wanted to acknowledge also my good colleagues that are here. Many people have supported not only this commission, but the trade commissions and our relationship in trade and commerce. So I see Representative Delnicki is here, Representative Garibay, Representative Wood, Representative Heffernan, my good colleague in the Senate, Senator Lesser, and of course the chairs of our Commerce Committee who helped pass the bill through, Representative Meskers, and Senator Hartley could not be here, but she did a lot to help pass this through. So I just wanted to acknowledge all of the members here, and then members of our commission on our co-chair of the Commission on Women, Children, Seniors, Equity, and Opportunity, Alan Tan is here. So we have representation throughout the state. So I'm here not just as a senator from the 22nd District, but as the child of Indian immigrants and the first Indian senator ever to serve in Connecticut. And the first South Asian woman in the Senate. And that's a testament to the changing face of Connecticut. And opportunities for state exchange and global collaboration have been opened up recently with the many changes to federal trade relations. So I want to thank again Senator Joan Hartley for all of her work and support in helping push this commission in particular forward and the others, and Representative Stephen Meskers, who you'll hear from in a minute, for their leadership on the Commerce Committee for helping these bills and the other trade commissions. These new opportunities come at the heels of a long history of South Asian engagement in Connecticut, from the establishment of cultural organizations that helped empower local communities, like Gopio in Stamford, founded by Dr. Thomas Abraham 20 years ago, and Millen in the greater Hartford area, founded by Suresh Sharma, and the Indian Cultural Center in Greenwich, and we have representatives. Of course, our great state leader, Adita Bhargava, is here, and we have leaders from the Indian Cultural Center as well. So we have this history and connection and relationship to the South Asian community. We also have long-running businesses like Infosys and Cubtech, who you'll hear from, that an influence over entire industries like the beverage and hospitality industry, and of course technology and finance, that bring visibility to South Asian businesses. We have leaders like Indra Nui, who helped build a profile for South Asian leadership. Members of the Asian Caucus, like Senator Anwar, Senator Rahman, Representative Khan, Representative Ali Brennan, that bring visibility to different parts of the South Asian diaspora. We also have local leaders like Mayor Arulampulam and Mayor Singh, bringing visibility directly through communities through local governance. And my fellow lawyers in the South Asian Bar Association created space to build their collective voice and strengthen their contributions in the legal arena. We're at a moment when Bollywood is no longer unfamiliar. In fact, I intended a Bollywood version of A Midsummer Night's Dream for the Shakespeare on the Green summer production in New Haven last year, which was incredibly popular, and hired a director who was from Mumbai. At Quinnipiac, the Holi Festival is one that attracts many non-South Asian students and is an event that students say is not to miss on campus. And in schools throughout the state, like in Trumbull, we have events like International Festival, which is always a crowd favorite. We have a true chance now to expand this footprint by stepping into the gap that federal trade policies have created and lead with the strengths we bring as a state. Senate Bill 132 is more than a trade policy. It's a recognition of deep cultural, educational, social, and business ties between the United States and India. In fact, many of the democratic principles in the Indian Constitution were informed by the US Constitution. India and the US both share a history of fighting against colonial rule, and in both cases, constitutions were crafted to secure liberty, promote the general welfare, and establish a well-balanced democratic republic. So India and the United States share a long friendship and a storied history, and most importantly, a deep connection through immigration and cultural exchange. In fact, 1 year before Indian independence, President Harry Truman signed the Fulbright Act, which enabled the exchange of students, faculty members, teachers, and researchers, building collaborative partnerships that paid off for years to come. I received a Fulbright Award to study constitutional law in a comparative context, and that single act of collaboration across countries in the now historic legislation introduced by U.S. Senator William J. Fulbright enabled me countless opportunities for continued educational dialogue and established years of robust cultural exchange and mutual understanding between nations. That's what we're doing with this bill, too. We're establishing a foundation for a robust cultural exchange that will benefit Connecticut and India for years to come. The Indian community is one of the most vibrant demographics in our state. There are over 68,000 South Asians of Indian origin living in Connecticut today, making them the largest Asian American ethnic group in our state. Our highest concentrations of AAPI residents are in Fairfield County and Hartford County, where they're integral to our economy as entrepreneurs, healthcare professionals, and engineers. Indians now represent the second largest foreign-born population in Connecticut. Proportionally, we have the 7th highest population of Indian residents in the entire United States. The AAPI share of our electorate saw the number of eligible voters increasing by 60% between 2010 and 2020. The Connecticut-India Trade Commission will create new avenues for Indian companies to choose Connecticut as their American home. We have an abundance of shared opportunities in sectors like aerospace, manufacturing, biotechnology, and green energy. We have unique opportunities for cultural and educational exchange, considering the quality and number of our colleges and universities throughout Connecticut. And by establishing a formal commission, we ensure that these exchanges are not left to chance, but are nurtured by a delicate body of experts from our higher education institutions, chambers of commerce, and the Indian American community itself. Other benefits of the Connecticut-India Trade Commission include the ability to actively promote investment and commerce between Connecticut and India, to address mutual interests through collaborative state-level action, to facilitate partnerships between our world-class universities and India's leading academic institutions, to establish mutual support for manufacturing, trade, and building a long-term infrastructure that addresses contemporary cultural and market demands in both regions. With this bill, we're signaling that Connecticut is open for meaningful collaborative enterprise and meaningful global partnerships that will enhance our local economy. Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. And then to continue to MC and introduce our speakers, starting with our co-chair of the Commerce Committee, Representative Meskers, who can talk about the role that the Commerce Committee played in helping this bill get through. Thank you.
So first off, I want to thank Shuzada. I think my only complaint was that the bill was presented first to the Senate and then to the House. And we all know that the House is the place where things happen. But I really want to thank her for the effort.
Senator Lesser is heading out.
He's taking a dodge right away.
We have 2 at least.
As the grandchild of immigrants to the United States from Italy and Holland and Ireland, I know the tremendous sacrifice many people make in that immigration. I know the contributions intimately of the Indian community in my hometown of Greenwich, and in Fairfield County particularly. Whether it be everything from the Indian restaurant, to my personal physician, to the neighbor who works at BlackRock in the financial industry, and I worked in that financial industry. My exposure to the community and their contributions to our society are incredible. And so I thank you for choosing Connecticut over those other states, because clearly this is the place where it happens, and this is hopefully the room where it happens. You can expect my support through Commerce and basically instrumenting this going forward. The committee will come forth on cultural and economic exchanges and bring forth proposals. I'm hoping that in the robust hearings and meetings of the committee of the commission, we will give rise to legislation that further fosters and engenders the contributions between this great state of Connecticut and India. And you have my word on that, and I thank you all for being here. And I thank the governor, who ultimately, if he hadn't signed it, we wouldn't be nowhere. So I do have to acknowledge that's the room where it happens.
Thank you, Representative Meskers. And let me say, legislative commissions require support from also our legislative leadership. And so let me give a big shout out to our Senate leadership, Senator Duff, Senator Looney, and also to our Speaker and our House Majority Leader, Representative Rojas, for their support of this bill signing and of our trade commissions. And that connection with India does not come without a partnership with our Indian representative, So I'd like to introduce somebody who is not unfamiliar with Connecticut, has been here on several occasions to support the work we're doing and will help us build this partnership with India, is the Indian Consul General, Ambassador Pradhan. Thank you for all your work and leadership and for being here today.
Honorable Ned Lamont, Governor of Connecticut, Lieutenant Governor Honorable Sujan Baisevich, Senator Sujata Gadkar, Senator John Hartley, Representative Stephen Meskers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, leaders of Indian community. It's truly a historic moment. Creation of Connecticut-India Trade Commission, I'm sure, was already overdue. But I'm so happy that after the visit of Governor Lamont last year to India, the relationship has got a new momentum. I remember before he visited India, I came to brief him about the places he was going. He visited Mumbai, he visited Bangalore, he visited Chennai. And I was telling him that you are visiting 3 powerhouses of India, each in the range of $500 billion of economy. And your visit would bring a new dynamism, new energy in the relationship between our two countries, and particularly with Connecticut. And I could see the momentum after that. We middle of last year, you recognized Diwali as a celebration here. Thank you very much for that. That's a recognition of the, and that's a recognition of the contribution of the Indian diaspora in this state. And I'm so happy today, Gopio, under leadership of Mr. Thomas Abraham, they're also opening a Connecticut chapter of their International Chamber of Commerce. So it's a very complimentary thing they're doing. Today, while coming to Hartford, I gave a call to our common friend, Ms. Indra Nui. I told her that I'm going to be witness to signing of this Trade Commission. And as she was part of your delegation visiting India, who had organized quite a few meetings, she was so happy. But she also mentioned that how India and Connecticut are natural partners, and how this commission can be a stimulus for not only economic but technological and academic collaboration. And I'm so happy to see the bill. I saw that the objective of the commission is not only limited to trade and investment, but it also includes business, academic exchange, arts, technology, and every other possible areas to collaborate between India and Connecticut. And it's a very detailed measure. I saw about who and how the members should be appointed. So it's truly a very detailed draft. I, as Consul General, I welcome this initiative, and I assure you, Honorable Governor, that the Consulate would work together with the Commission to make your vision, to make the vision of the two houses who passed the bill a reality, to increase our not only economic engagement but all other possible ties. Just before conclude, I must say that if you look at today India-US economic partnership, US remains our #1 trade partner with $240 billion of trade, and we have a vision objective to take it to $500 billion by 2030. US remains our #1 investment partner. In fact, recently in the select USA delegation, India was the biggest delegation, making $20 billion of investment commitment in the United States. The majority of that is happening in neighboring New Jersey, by the way. And if you look at tourism, you look at technology collaboration, or you look at talent cooperation, we call it 4T, trade, tourism, technology, and talent. In all the 4 KPIs, US remains our #1 partner. And this initiative, I can tell you, is going to further help us to achieve these targets much earlier. Thank you so much for this initiative, and thank you for inviting us.
Thank you so much to our General Consul, Ambassador Pradhan. And let me invite up now Vikram, and Vikram and Preeti can come up together if you want to speak about how this how our relationship with the business community has sort of been longstanding, and can say a little bit about your work.
Thanks, Sujata. I have to keep this short. So my wife and I, Preeti and I, started our company 21 years ago out of our spare bedroom in Fairfield, Connecticut. And today we're the only company in the world that builds a technology that uses what is used in 3D mammograms to image the tissue when it is removed, the cancer, and confirm that the entire cancer has been removed in the OR. Our systems are installed all across the state, across the country, and 40 countries around the world. Just to add, we opened Connecticut-India 3 years ago. Prime Minister Modi inaugurated our system in the Gujarat Cancer Research Institute in Ahmedabad 3 years ago. We are growing. We recently acquired the Unilever headquarters in Trumbull because we are so confident of Governor Lamont's work in this state, and are hoping that in the next 4 years that he will be here to make it even better for the manufacturing community and the medical technology community. And I just want to say, it's only in America, right? I mean, I came as a student 35 years ago. My wife and I live in a house that was built by Roger Sherman, somebody who signed the US Declaration of Independence. What other country in the world could that happen? So, only in America. And we are really excited to see Sujata and Representative Mesker and the team bring this board together, and we hope it will help us and other businesses like us to grow and build a relationship between Connecticut and India. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Vikram, and Preeti. I'd love to see the two of you together as, you know, a couple doing this work, leading. Thank you. And now let me introduce the great governor of the state of Connecticut, and thank you again for all your support to both our lieutenant governor and our great governor, Ned Lamont.
So this commission, in many ways, was born many years ago, because I talk about cultural exchange. I had the opportunity to go to business school with Indra Nooyi and got to know her very well. And 40 years later, she gave me a call and said, I know that Hartford's going through a pretty tough time, and I can tell you that I know the CEO of Infosys, and they're looking for a Northeast headquarters. I said, really? Infosys is now a power player here in Hartford, thanks to that relationship, providing training and skills in IT and AI, bringing us forward. And you heard from Sujata, I mean, the relationship between India and the United States is much more than commercial. You know, we both fled colonialism, two of the largest democracies on the planet Earth. And so going back a couple years ago, we said, well, if we're going to do a trade mission, we've got to go to India. And went with Indra and some commercial leaders and the head of UConn, and it was very interesting. There's a great line, you know, India, you had me at hello. And it's not only the cultural ties, but that sense of entrepreneurship and optimism, which I think our two countries share. And there we were in Chennai, and that is now our sister state relationship, Chennai, one of the most entrepreneurial centers in India, and just the nature of that relationship and what that meant. And as we traveled around, as you heard from the Consul General, people asked us about tariffs, and they asked us about labor, and they asked us about airports. And they said, how close are you to New York City? And I said, more importantly, how close is New York City to us? But they also asked something that I found really distressing. They said, are we going to feel welcome in the United States of America? Are we going to feel welcome? And I remember Indra telling me the story that when she landed at Kennedy Airport, almost 50 years ago, and she was taking the van up to Connecticut, and the driver said, "Where are you going?" She said, "I'm going to Connecticut." And he said, "You're going to go to the most welcoming state in America. You're going to feel right at home." And she's told that story. We told that story all over our trip to India, just reminding people that I think one of our greatest strengths as a country, which we never should get, is that we welcome people from around the world. And I want you to feel at home here. And I think we're a much stronger state for having each and every one of you here calling Connecticut home. And the degree to which this Trade Commission, we can enhance those ties, cultural ties, academic ties, commercial ties, bring our two countries together, will be a better world for it. That's why we're doing this. You got a lot of work ahead of you. Good luck.
Thank you, Governor Lamont. I think we'll move to the bill signing, and I just want to emphasize that the immigrant story is the American story, and that's what's important here today, and we're continuing that story in Connecticut. So thank you again to everyone for being here. Oh, and there's a young person who spoke on the bill. I forgot to mention, Roman, if you can come up, we're going to give you a copy of the bill. You helped support it through the Commerce Committee.
This is International Yoga Day.
All right.